Hello everyone, welcome back to the Film Insight channel. In today's video, we're gonna cover the worst kitchen to ever be featured on Kitchen Nightmares. So be sure to stick around to find out more. We're gonna dive into Season 3, Episode 8 of the show. This episode showcases a kitchen that is arguably the worst of them all. Laura Pappenfist, the owner of Mama Ritas, chose to build a Mexican eatery in California. She named it after her grandmother after she passed away. Pappenfist claimed that her grandmother frequently cooked and that she often helped her out in the kitchen. She began her career in the food industry by opening up a catering company. It did incredibly well and had a good reputation in the community. After getting a lot of positive feedback from her customers, Pappenfist decided to expand her business into a restaurant. After doing well for the first few weeks, things gradually slowed down.
She opened this restaurant and the first week really busy. After 2-3 weeks, no more.
And I'm begging people, please come back and give me another chance. And some say, no, I'll never go back there again.
It got so bad that they struggled to get people through the doors. Perla, who was the head chef at Mama Rita for 6 years, was a genuinely sweet lady. The owner had so much confidence in her chef that the staff believed that Perla was Pappenfist's right hand and rescuer.
She's my right hand and my savior. I mean, she's family to me.
Me mucho love for you.
With that being said, the staff had very conflicting opinions about Pappenfist and how she ran the restaurant. Because there were no regulations in place and nobody truly knew what they were doing, head waiter Brad claimed that Pappenfist was a bad leader.
Laura is not a good boss because no one necessarily knowing what they're doing.
Cheryl, the manager, likewise thinks that the owner is unqualified to run the establishment.
The direction I get from Laura is a little hit and miss, and I don't really think Laura knows how to run her restaurant.
Maggie, Pappenfist's mother, who works as a hostess at the restaurant, claims her daughter lacks expertise for running a restaurant.
Laura, as a restaurant owner, is inexperienced because she never had any training in this, but this is completely brand spanking new.
I need a cocktail now.
This is huge.
I know.
It's very clear to see that Mama Rita's was doing things wrong. When Chef Ramsay arrives, he's initially impressed with the restaurant.
Can I just say, this place looks stunning.
Thank you.
My goodness me, somebody spent a lot of money here.
He likes how the place looks and goes on to have a long conversation with Pappenfist about her experience in the food industry. He is, however, unsure about the name of the restaurant, so he gets the whole backstory from the owner. It's then revealed that the restaurant is in big trouble financially and could potentially take the owner down with it. Pappenfist's home was put on the foreclosure list and she was $2.2 million in debt. Chef Ramsay seats himself in the dining area and meets the server Brad, who had been employed at the establishment since the very beginning. Brad tells Chef Ramsay that some of the dishes at the restaurant do tend to be a little dry, and he helps the famous chef with what not to order off the menu.
Molotes, taquitos, empanadas, de pollo. I just think they're really dry.
Chef Ramsay goes ahead and places an order for tamales, chimichanga, and a burrito thanks to Brad's recommendations. He sits back in anticipation for the food to arrive. As he waits for his food, Chef Ramsay is given an introduction to the manager Cheryl by Pappenfist. When he inquires as to what the issue with the restaurant was, Cheryl was unable to respond.
So why have we got lacking customers?
We need more customers. We need to figure out how to get more people in here.
What's wrong with the place?
Lack of customers.
Thank you. And you're the manager?
Yeah.
Ideally, the manager is supposed to know. This is how Chef Ramsay responded to Cheryl's ignorance.
A manager that didn't know what's wrong with the restaurant is scary. Jesus. A manager that doesn't know what's wrong.
The food arrives, and as he tastes each dish, Chef Ramsay delivers his verdict. He gets started on the tamales first. And this is how Chef Ramsay reacted.
Jesus. It's like soaking wet newspaper. That is so dry. Jesus. Okay.
And when Chef Ramsay asked Pappenfist if the tamales were fresh, this is what she replies.
And we make them in big batches, and then they're steamed, and then they're served, because we make such large volumes at a time.
When it was time for the chimichanga, this is what Chef Ramsay had to say.
It's dry. It's shards of dry chicken.
Finally, when the steak burrito came out, Chef Ramsay compared it to eating a wet piece of cardboard and said this.
My God. Jesus. That's like eating wet cardboard. Have a taste of that. Bloody hell.
The steak was gamey. It was kind of like a car wash.
He asked Brad, the server, to take a bite and take a look at what follows.
Moist and mushy.
Oh my God, that is disgusting.
Let me taste the steak. Did you grill him fresh steak for his burrito?
All of Chef Ramsay's questions about the restaurant were finally answered, and he now understood the reasons behind the lovely restaurant's failure.
Emma, I'm so sorry. I'm not here to slag you off, however. I just want something fresh.
When he goes into the kitchen to introduce himself to the crew, he learns that the food served at the restaurant is the same food that they use for the catering side of the business.
Why don't you do it properly?
Because everybody loved my catering.
It's completely two different monsters.
They prepare the meals in bulk, freeze and store them, and just steam them for each order. Now that the truth behind the horrible food was revealed, it's clear that the food was far from fresh. Chef Ramsay later steps in to observe the dinner service. Although the customers receive their food fast, they're not pleased with it.
Kind of dry.
Dry? I mean, it's not like I would come back for this.
No, I know, obviously. Stop.
Most of their complaints center on how dry the restaurant's cuisine is, which is the same issue that Chef Ramsay pointed out earlier.
The only thing that's missing here is a drive-thru.
This is a really common problem when frozen food is microwaved. The heat manages to suck out all the moisture from the food, leaving a dry pile of substandard food behind. So while the customers are struggling to chew down dry food, this is what's happening in the kitchen. Just take a look at what Chef Ramsay had to say about the dinner service.
This has to be the fastest serving restaurant in America tonight. But it's not really a restaurant, it's a fast food factory. What a joke.
The famous chef was certain that the kitchen was undertaking shortcuts to deliver the food on time. He heads towards the walk-in freezer and is shocked to find this.
Look at that! You must have hundreds of portions of stock. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is not a restaurant. You are mad.
They were stocked with trays and trays of frozen pre-cooked food. When Chef Ramsay confronts Pappenfuss, she simply shrugs it off and claims that this is how they work for their catering business. Upon further investigation, the famous chef calculates that the value of the frozen food in the freezer was above $12,000. Some of the frozen food that he found had dates on them that went all the way back to the previous year.
August and July. Last year!
Chef Ramsay only had one thing to say. He called Pappenfuss over and this is what followed.
All this pre-cooked, pre-rolled, frozen is just absolutely appalling.
A visibly stunned and mortified Chef Ramsay throws away the majority of the food in the kitchen. Pappenfuss, who was initially defensive, gives in to Chef Ramsay's criticism and accepts her errors. The famous chef takes the first step to saving the restaurant by doing this.
Goodbye, frozen. Look at that, chef. There's enough chimichangas here. Hello, restaurant.
So, do you want to know how the owner and head chef reacted to this? Well, take a look for yourself.
I was shocked. Everything was gone. I had no idea what was happening.
If you thought that was bad, take a look at how old the frozen food was.
Oh! I was completely floored.
Look at this shit. What's going on there? Oh, they've gone green. Chimichangas, 5 dozen, 10 dozen, 12 dozen.
Pappenfuss realizes that she needs to up her game or she would definitely be doomed.
Ouch. And this isn't a catering business?
To convince Pappenfuss about what the locals thought about her restaurant, Chef Ramsay brings in some former customers to speak to her. The main complaints were that the style of the food was uninspired and that they weren't receiving the service they expected.
We felt we weren't getting the service that we wanted and the creativity of the food was really lacking.
Some customers even got an upset stomach or became very ill from eating at her restaurant.
2 different trips, I got sick. When I came here 2 months later, I got sick again.
The whole table kind of got stomach issues afterwards.
After Chef Ramsay challenges Pappenfuss to come up with some dishes, the kitchen comes up with some new specials for the evening service. The staff, however, are not at all used to the amount of work and skill that is required to prepare fresh food. While Pappenfuss does manage to dish out some tasty prawns, Perla's chicken falls flat. Needless to say, Chef Ramsay's steak stole the show away. The kitchen finally manages to get the food out, but to their dismay, the steaks are served undercooked. During the service, Pappenfuss finally takes her role more seriously and steps things up. The famous chef asks Pappenfuss to step out so the chefs can take over.
On this, I shouldn't be back here doing this for you.
Right, Laura, let them do it now. Let them do it now, yeah?
After the disastrous service, the famous chef advises Pappenfist to fire head chef Perla since she wasn't capable of managing the restaurant's kitchen.
Perla is not a head chef. I think tonight confirmed that.
The owner, however, was adamant about keeping her, but the two do have a heart-to-heart to clear things up.
She's not an employee that I can just cut, after so many years of being by my side.
Meanwhile, Chef Ramsay brings in Chef Neris to serve as a kitchen consultant. Along with the staff, she creates dishes using fresh ingredients and revamps the menu, which the serving staff taste and thoroughly enjoy. While Neris takes charge of the kitchen on the relaunch night, Perla was still struggling. She ends up standing in the kitchen doing absolutely nothing.
Perla, you ready for the tacos? Perla, listen to me, please. Let's get 34 out.
While customers are seated outside waiting for their food to arrive. Take a look at the lack of communication in the kitchen.
Perla, we need to get organized. This is not working. Let's focus, okay? We gotta focus.
Almost an hour into the service, food finally makes its way out of the kitchen. But sadly, dishes were being returned for being undercooked or having burnt chips or missing items. Another day of dismay for a kitchen that just can't seem to get it done.
It's incredible. You have the most amazing looking restaurant and a great tasting menu, but if you haven't got the right staff to pull it off, you're screwed.
Very soon, Perla begins to feel the heat of cooking things fresh and breaks down. When Chef Ramsay pulls Pappenfist out to discuss the Perla situation, he realizes that the owner was defending the head chef yet again.
But I will make a comment. I have a woman that has stuck with me through thick and thin for 6 years.
Okay.
And that's when he said,
my big question to you.
Yes.
Are you her boss or are you her friend?
I am her boss. And
Wrong. You're her friend.
Chef Neris pushes through and steps things up to complete the dinner service on a good note. And on the other side of things, Pappenfist was struggling to choose between her role as a boss and as a friend.
Look at me. It's okay. I'm scared too. I'm scared and it's hard, okay? And this new way of cooking. It's okay. It'll be okay.
As a parting comment, Chef Ramsay said this.
Tonight was made more difficult than it ever had to be. Perla's not a leader. She's never going to step up. The future success of this restaurant is in your hand. It will never ever work if you step backwards.
Next time you come, you're going to see some staff changes. I give you my word.
Come here. Stand strong.
So what happens next? After Chef Ramsay left, Chef Neris stayed as a consultant for a few weeks to assist in opening the restaurant. Pappenfist took Chef Ramsay's advice and demoted Perla since she wasn't qualified for the head chef position. Instead, Perla continued to work in the catering division of the company. However, in time, Perla was actually trained by Neris. This went on for a few weeks and finally led to Perla gaining back her position as head chef. Within a short amount of time, Chef Ramsay's revamped menu was dropped in favor of Pappenfist's previous one. Following the famous chef's visit, Mama Rita's Yelp reviews were mainly positive. It received a final rating of 3.5 stars, with many of the recent reviews being positive. A couple of Yelp users made the following comments, highlighting the positive side of things at Mama Rita's. One person said, to help dispel some of the negative reviews as well, this place was really good. Mama Rita's has to be the best Mexican restaurant in the Conejo Valley and beyond. The food is amazing, the atmosphere is very welcoming, and it's the whole package. Don't miss out. The restaurant did, however, shut down soon after the December 2010 episode because reviews just weren't enough to pay off their debts. However, Pappenfist continued to work for her catering company. She later ran the Mission Oaks Cafe in Camarillo, California, which has average reviews. With that, we've sadly come to the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. What do you think about Mama Rita's? Let us know in the comments section down below. Don't forget to give us a like and a share. Also, hit the subscribe button to never miss out on our updates. Thanks for watching, guys.